Hey everyone, this is Disc Junkie and welcome back to Secondhand Sickness. So the day is finally here. I'm standing in a bit of shadow, so a little bit of mosquitoes, but yeah, there's literally not a cloud in the sky as you can see, and it's been feels like it's been so long, and I'm so excited to finally have summer. And the Carboot sale season is just starting. This is the premiere day for me of at my favorite Carboot sale, and yeah, I don't know what to say. Place looks pretty packed, so let's just get into it. I can't even speak. I'm so happy that it's finally here. Let's just hit the table, shall we? Alright, so I'm back home, and yeah, it's just high time to go through the finds of today, so let's just do it. Now, I will say that I am a little bit disappointed with the finds today, not because of the finds themselves, but simply because there wasn't as much as I expected. The place was really packed, but I essentially didn't pick up as much as I had hoped. But the stuff I got is still pretty cool. So the first pickup was this really odd set of home video cassette library albums. And so these are essentially empty boxes, and I was able to pick up two of them. They are essentially foldable. So you open this up and you flip this open, and then you can essentially fold this into like a somewhat flat flat structure. I'm not even sure if I can bring this back, so there we go. Now, I will also mention that these will only hold regular type VHS cassettes without any sort of case, unless you're talking about your typical sort of thin cardboard case, like this is just a cardboard box. If you have tapes like that, this will work, but anything larger, like any type of clamshell tape, will not fit in this. But if you have these type of tapes, you can essentially stack a few in there. You can see this is actually quite deeper than your typical case, so I assume you would want to keep them on this side because that makes more sense. You could actually stack a row of tapes. I haven't really counted as to how many you can fit in here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 tapes. I'm gonna guess 6 tapes. So yeah, this was my first pickup, and I was able to score 2 of those. They are from the same seller, and I essentially paid, Jesus, me and the pricings. I think it's the heat, but I can hardly remember anything of what I actually paid. I think I got these for €2 in total, so basically 20 Swedish crowns. Now, these are quite big, so maybe we should just fold this down to sort of be able to fit them better in frame. And maybe this was a mistake, because these were actually not as simple to fold together as I remembered. All right, so there we have them, a little bit flatter at least. So let's move those to the side and look at the next find. Now, this is a bit of an odd one, and I know some people will not understand why I picked this up, but if you do watch the channel, I'm sure you will understand that this is just up my alley, so to speak. And it is a old vintage pair of scissors, but not just any scissors. These are actually a pair of scissors which you will use to trim the wool off of sheep. So yeah, you might wonder why the hell I would pick this up, but the thing is that I am a really big fan of vintage stuff, and generally I'm also a big fan of vintage tools and old rusty things, simply because I have my Texas Chainsaw Massacre room where I have my Texas Chainsaw Massacre collection and a whole bunch of these horror themed items, and this feels like a very sort of Texas Chainsaw Massacre type item. I can just imagine Leatherface having one of these when he sort of, you know, cuts his masks off and tried to sort of design his masks of skin. I don't know, it just felt like kind of a horror item, even though it's not really a horror item. It's not like it's used for anything horrific in reality, but you know, with some imagination you can understand why this would be considered as a horror item. So now we move over to a different category of stuff altogether, and that is the category of vinyl records. And so I actually picked up 2 vinyl records, and this is the first one, which is actually a vinyl record which I had heard about and had on my radar before, and this is the Star Wars theme by an artist called Miko. So this is Star Wars and Other Galactic Funk by Miko, and I just love this cover. This record was 70 Swedish crowns, which is €7. This is not a super good deal. It is essentially what it's worth, to be honest. And I will also say that aside from being a really funky and cool album, it is actually quite a nice design. I really like this cover art. I think it's very striking, really retro, and it just perfectly sort of sums up the mood of the music, I gotta say. So yeah, this was a very fun pickup and really cool to add this to my vinyl collection. And speaking of vinyl, the last item in the lot is also a vinyl record. This was a bit cheaper. This was 20 Swedish crowns, which is just €2, but it's also a maxi single, which is from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. I don't know, it feels like right now I'm making videos with a weird synchronicity where I tend to actually touch upon this movie you know, over and over again. I think this is the 3rd time that this movie has come up, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe the universe is trying to tell me something, but yeah, this is a maxi single of We Don't Need Another Hero by Tina Turner. So not like, I wouldn't say that that's a music track I'm particularly fond of. I mean, it's part of the movie in a big way, but I essentially just picked this up because I thought that the cover was really nice. So it's a, you know, record I wouldn't mind having on display. And, you know, if it's for cheap like this was, I don't mind picking it up just for the record cover, if it's something really unique and really interesting. So yeah, definitely a nice pickup for me. But yeah, that is essentially everything I got. And I gotta say that this was a bit of a disappointment, seeing as it was the flea market premiere for the season. But then again, you can't expect to find stuff every time. And I'm not really sure how I'm going to position this so that you can see what I bought. But, god damn it, this vinyl record is just too big. But yeah, this is essentially the entire lot, and sorry if it's not properly displayed, but yeah, you're just gonna have to live with that. But that's it. I want to say thank you very much for watching, and as usual, hope to see you all next time. Oh, we gotta put that in frame at least. There we go. Woo!